Alright, we're back. Not for broadcast. Last we left off, it was fucking off the hook. Jeremy Dawson here killed himself after taking over the station armed with a gun. Absolute madness. Shit's about to get wild. This is the immediate aftermath. You wake up still partly in shock from what you saw in the news last night, but you had to edit on the news last night. When you come downstairs, you find your family sat in the living room waiting for you. Take a seat on the sofa next to Sam. Sam swallows, hesitating before starting. We were so worried about you last night. After Jeremy, everything that happened. Sam shakes her head. I wonder what they'll do with him now. Are you okay? Lock him up, probably. Can't say I blame them. I can't shake the feeling that he might... He's not dead. He shot himself in the fucking head. We saw it happen. What the hell? Yeah, let's go full authoritarian. Sam glances at Charlie, then back at you. We saw that you chose to play that tape. They paused before continuing. I couldn't help but wonder why. I honestly, in that moment, didn't feel like I had a choice. I thought if I didn't play it, he would start shooting everyone in the studio. Then again, how would he know? I don't know. In the moment, I was like, oh god, I gotta play this. What? That's not good enough. Disrupt are bad people. I can't believe you did that. Charlie's outburst seems to come out of nowhere, and no one in the room is prepared for it. Do you even think how this is going to affect people? How this stuff affects people? You're a fucking idiot. Sam tries to interject Charlie, but he's already slammed the door. Charlie always was a bit of a black and white about this sort of thing. For what it's worth, Alex, I think you were in an impossible situation and somehow you managed to make the right call. Sam throws her arms around you. Only you were stuck in that studio having to make that choice. No one can criticize what you did, and I'm proud of you. You've never been so grateful to have Sam support you. You take a deep breath and gather your thoughts. It's a lot to take in. You're not sure whether you fully processed what happened last night, let alone what Charlie and Sam think about it all. You sigh and absent-mindedly turn on the TV. It's nice that you've at least got some company. The TV is playing some old western show, but it's not quite as distracting as you'd hope. You're never gonna please everyone. Yeah. This game's fucking wild. Hey, it's been a year. Over a year. Cool. A burden born. It's been 6 months since you and Sam last discussed Grandma's ever-increasing medical costs, and Emma, while very pleasant, has proved an expensive nurse as you feared. You can't quite believe it's been that long already, but the sanctions are really starting to hit home now, and unfortunately the government's only solution to help the ailing elderly is a day trip to the transition center. Why does everything always seem to come back to money? It always does. This time it's you at the kitchen table, surrounded by bills and paperwork, when Sam comes to join you. Today Emma told you that there was really nothing more you could do, except an expensive experimental new treatment that might not even help. Sometimes your mom wants the treatment. More often she talks about visiting a transition center. It's hard to know what she really wants. Sam puts a hand on yours. What are we going to do, honey? She's your mother. It has to be your choice. I don't think she wants to live like this anymore. It's hard, but it's time for the transition center. She's my mom. We have to do whatever we can. Let's get the treatment. Oof. I mean, I take care of an elderly person right now, my grandmother. She has Alzheimer's. I definitely would not want her killed. It's a difficult choice. You know you might need that money, particularly for the kids. What if Charlie gets in an accident? What if something happens to Susie while she's abroad and she needs help? But what if you can give them a few more good years with their grandmother? Yeah, surely that's worth the cost. Yeah, hell yeah. Holiday update. Just as you're finishing up breakfast, Sam comes in with the post. Oh, we've got a postcard from Susie. I hope she's having fun with her trip. Sam reads it aloud as you finish getting ready for work. So I've seen what feels like most of the Urikistan. Really cool place, but it's so cold. Hope Chippy enjoyed the gift. And before you say anything, yes, you were right to make me back an extra pair of socks. Sam gives you a small kick under the table. Next, we get to train to Consolava. Much warmer and loads of beaches to enjoy. I could have stayed there forever. But I had to head to Pan Palermo. This music's off the hook. What the fuck? I'm glad we did. Probably could have gotten 1 or 2 more stops before heading home. We'll be back before Christmas, I promise. I hope everything's doing well. Love, Susie, XXX. That's what the German said. Sorry, it's been a hell of a trip. Worth every penny. Sounds like it's been a lot. I can't talk today. Actually, I can't talk usually, so it's fine. What the fuck?
It's Bozeman here. Hope all's well with the family. Just a heads up, we're expecting those troublemakers at Disrupt to attempt to hack the channel during the broadcast, so keep an eye on the interference screen and stay out of the orange.
Hold on a minute. If this is not a dream sequence like before, it means the world is starting to change because of my decisions. Well, I don't know about decisions, but it's starting to change. Like, look at this shit. They modified my settings. That's so interesting. I wonder what it all means.
Let's keep the news on the air. It's important, now more than ever.
What is this?
So, Julia's team have asked me to ask you to keep it light.
What does that mean?
It means to do that thing you do where you turn politicians into humans. Just don't get drawn into talking about the war.
War broadcast.
They do know this is the news, don't they?
You didn't hear this from me,
It's over
but
to Patrick Bannon for all the day's sports board highlights, including all the tabletop action.
apparently there's a crew at Team HQ right
Why is this
now.
one different?
I think she's giving a speech or something tonight. They'll get it on the news.
Oh, great. So they get the brains and we get the performing monkey.
Followed at 9:25 by our unsettling play,
Sometimes you sound just like him, you know.
which tells the cautionary tale
How
of
are
one
you?
brave young lady's battles to survive the cruel administrations of our neighbours.
It
At
is what it is.
11:25, it's incisors.
It
And
is what it
tonight,
is.
Dr. Adrian Atkinson Blimey
I'm
will be
listening
getting
to
his
you now.
teeth into Fiona from Hamble Bamblebury, who's
10
invented a
seconds,
tasty
everybody.
twist on the humble
Rubber
biscuit.
dogs,
And
sad.
that takes us, after the weather and public information
Going in
film,
5,
into our close down.
4,
But first
3.
tonight, it's time to join Megan and the team for the National Night.
Good evening. This is the National Nightly News. I'm Megan Wolf.
What is
It's
this?
the 140th day of war. Our main headlines tonight.
Oh, we're literally at war.
Company of Heroes. Skirmishes on land and sea again today as our armed forces tested the mettle of the World Council's illegal blockade. Advance's strategy of multiple small-scale incursions into the disputed zone is certainly keeping the enemy on high alert, unable to work out where or when the next strike will come. Proud parents throughout the territory find themselves ever more impressed by the bravery and commitment
Full
of the
authoritarian.
children and the job they're doing keeping supply lines open against all possible odds. Don't starve. Advance's food programme moved from strength to strength today as rationing depots were opened in the last remaining unfed areas of the territory. The rationing depots have been constructed in record time, and the government's agricultural coordination strategy has seen shelves restocked with increasing regularity. And judging by the looks on this happy family's faces, it can't come a moment too soon. They'll be getting a
fucking
good meal
dancing.
tonight on the government.
This is pure
just like
propaganda. I love it.
7 days to die. The recent decision to allow those with long-term health conditions to access transition centres
I
has
knew it.
today been declared an overwhelming success.
I fucking knew it.
Previously available only to those in their final years, the expansion of the service has been met with
Did I not
relief
call
by
this
the
like
many
7 episodes
organisations
ago? I was
calling
like,
for
yeah,
it to
they're
be
gonna make
opened
people
up to
die.
the wider community. The transition centres have reported larger than expected numbers, but report that they are coping well and able to provide a complete
music is
and
off the
meaningful
chain,
service
dude.
to all who choose to use it. Populace. More than 11% of the population have thus far failed to register for a team membership card. A worrying statistic given that the cards are a legal requirement from midnight tonight. It's up to the other 89% of us to remind our tardy friends that not taking advantage of all the exclusive services available to cardholders is now, as it should be, absolutely criminal. Start me up. Disrupt spokesman Alan James held an impromptu rally today in the northern city of Mankypool. Large crowds gathered to hear the band speaker prove Disrupt are still able to capture the public's imagination. A representative from the Mankypool Community Cohesion Team described the event as mostly peaceful, but it looks like Disrupt aren't going quietly into the night. And finally tonight, our mutual friend. Bail was denied in the High Court today for shamed former national nightly news anchor Jeremy Donaldson.
He's not
The
dead.
presenter will be transferred to new lodgings at Penton Ridge Prison, while the lengthy preparations for his trial, which is still 18 months away, begin. Since being taken into custody 10 weeks ago in this very studio, little has been heard from our former colleague. Despite how things ended, we wish him the best, and we'll be sure to bring you all the details of that court case.
I don't understand. We saw him get shot.
But first tonight, with the war about to enter its 21st week, I'll be chatting with Peter Clement live in an exclusive team talk
Oh,
from his
yes.
home in Lancashire.
Please.
Don't go away. You won't want
Please.
to miss a second
Peter
of
Clement, my
tonight's
favorite.
National Nightly News.
Uh-huh. What is this? Like these buttons here. I can't click them.
Later in the programme, I'm thrilled to say I'll be
What?
who's going to be treating us to a world premiere of her new single.
What
and
the
then
fuck?
after that, in part 3, we've got
I
something
didn't do that.
new I promise you won't want to miss. But first
Was that
tonight,
Disrupt or
let's
whatever?
check in with Prime Minister Peter Clement, who's coming to us through the magic of television all the way from his home in Lanfordshire. Are you receiving me, Prime Minister?
Loud and clear, Miss Wolf. Loud and clear.
Well, let's start with the obvious. What's that in your hand, Prime Minister?
Cheeky cow. But yeah, it's cow.
As some of you will know, I spoke today to the people of
Drink, and I've got to say, I'm beginning to feel
What
the
the
benefits.
fuck is going
Certainly
on?
looks that way.
Well, I made a promise to Mrs. C, and as my old man used
Oh,
to
I could-
say...
A promise as well?
Oh, look at this. I could put the frequency on his speech instead of Peter Clement's thing. That's so interesting. Of course, we're going with Peter Clement because it's Peter Clement, right? Like, we're going full authoritarian on this run. But, like, that's so interesting that you could do two different things. It would be fun to do. I'm pretty sure everybody else did the, like, anti-authoritarian run already on YouTube. I always do the bad runs because nobody else does them. Everybody always wants to be the good guy. I'm playing Mass Effect right now, and I'm going full Renegade all the way. And in KOTOR, I did full Dark Side immediately. I always do the bad runs. So we're doing full authoritarian right now. That's interesting that it lets you decide there.
Housekeeping?
was something like that, only with assholes.
So, I've heard from my sources that you and the illustrious Mrs. C plan to take your winter break somewhere a little different this year.
That's right. We're planning a walking holiday right here in the territories, which is different for us because, like you, Megan, I've always been a big fan of those warm foreign beaches.
Did you make this decision because of the blockade, Prime Minister?
Well, now that's a good question. Well, as you know, while the blockade has effectively restricted the flow of goods into the country, we
It's
and
so
our
ridiculous.
neighbours
He's
have
on an
continued
elliptical.
to allow unimpeded travel for business leaders, ministers and such. So, although me and the missus could theoretically go to that gorgeous beach I just mentioned, it just doesn't smell much like team spirit to me. After all, as my old man used to say, when life gives you shite, make shite pie.
It works just as well with lemons and lemonade.
I suppose it does.
Prime Minister, maintaining a healthy body like yours at a time of national crisis must require some demanding planning. What's your regime and how do you go about it all?
Well, the truth be told, it's all down to Claude, my infinitely patient personal trainer. He's a man with a plan. I'm just the prat with the fat.
Well, on that very subject, how are you and Mrs. C handling living on rations?
Well, let me tell you, Megan, back in the 50s, when I worked for you backstage for your Patrick Brannan's dad, did you know I did that?
I think everyone knows that, Prime Minister.
Well, what you probably didn't know was that Graham Bannon was a right tightwad, paid the bare bloody minimum and still found every possible excuse he could to dock your pay even further. I remember he once docked me a whole $5 for having an unacceptably smelly lunchbox.
Fuck.
Type bastard. Anyway, what I'm saying is back then...
What is happening?
Even under Russia, we all did. And let's face it, there were still plenty of people in this...
Oh, it's so annoying. That's the first time it's ever happened. Like, the frequency wouldn't change. God damn it. I hate that frequency shit. It's so annoying. Alright. Oh, god damn it. Oh. Okay, we're gonna cut here. I'll fucking... Cutting back in here.
It works just as well with lemons and lemonade.
Yeah, this frequency shit is so annoying.
Prime Minister, maintaining a healthy body like yours
Alright.
at a time of national crisis must require some demanding planning. What's your regime and how do you go about it all?
Well, the truth be told, it's all down to Claude, my infinitely patient personal trainer. He's a man with a plan. I'm just the prat with a fat.
Well, on that very subject, how are you and Mrs. C handling living on rations?
Well, let me tell you, Megan, back in the 50s, when I worked for you backstage for your Patrick Brannan's dad, did you know I did that?
I think everyone knows that, Prime Minister.
Well, what you probably didn't know was that Graham Bannon was a right tightwad. Paid the bare
That's, like,
bloody
completely
minimum
focused
and
on
still found
this. I
every
can't even
possible
listen to them.
excuse he could to dock your pay even further. I remember he once docked me a whole $5 for having an unacceptably smelly lunchbox type bastard. Anyway, what I'm saying is back then I ate a
My
lot
camera's
less
in the
than I
way,
am
but
now,
you're not
even
missing
under
anything.
rations.
It's
We
literally
all
just
did.
me.
And let's
You can
face
see
it,
half of
there are
it.
still plenty of people in this country who could afford to lose a little bit of weight.
What are you implying? No, but seriously, Prime Minister, we know you're very busy, but one final question, if I may.
Oh, well, go on then.
When you get home from a long day, your head full of the territory's hopes and fears, what music do you listen to when you work out to take your mind off things?
Well, I know I've got a bit of a reputation for being an old fuddy-duddy, but I'd be lying if I didn't say there's something about Little C that just demands one's attention.
Well, let's hope you stay watching, Prime Minister, because she is going to be talking and performing live after the break.
Oh, I'll be watching. After all, as my old man used to say, everything's a treat on a boring Friday with nothing but the wind up your shunt.
It's Wednesday, Prime Minister.
I think the expression still stands.
Peter Clement, thank you for joining me. I don't know about you at home, but I think there's something kind of inspirational there. I know I feel safer. When we come back, Lil C is going to be giving us the debut performance of her new single, and I'll be getting to meet her. As her biggest fan, I don't mind telling you I'm pretty excited. Don't go away. We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute back. Gripping stuff.
Was that even news?
I think you forgot to ask him what his favourite number is.
Oh, I must have forgotten that in all the excitement.
I'm glad she's
I'm
not, like,
assuming it's not vodka.
accepting
What's
it.
actually in that milk? I reckon it's the tears of his enemies.
You are one disturbed individual.
How I cope.
You stay free to enjoy all
C? Fuck off.
of our news.
Yeah, I fucked up the stupid signal a few times.
That chooses
Also, there's not a phone anymore. There's like an intercom,
cower.
which is really weird. And I can't, when I press this button, nothing happens.
But we are
So I don't know what that's about.
You'll no doubt have spotted the updated mixing desk. You'll
Yeah.
need the new buttons during the next sections. First, we'll need applause when the guest enters and before her song. Don't worry, I'll walk you through it when we get there.
I hope so.
we have built world-leading scientific and cultural communities. As a team, we have kept our people well fed throughout this war. Because as a team, we cannot fail to thrive, even in this most challenging of times. And one day, soon now, when this turbulent
I'd never
time is
heard of her
behind
before.
us,
Oh, she's big, really big.
Really?
Never heard of her
She
before.
good?
Just saying she's the biggest fan.
She dog shit. My kids go mad for her, absolutely mad.
5 in 10 seconds.
Hang on, Colin, you've got kids.
Yeah, I've got about 6 or 7, I think.
What?
I think.
4, 3. Thanks for coming back. Later, we have an exciting new feature that we just know you're going to love, so stay tuned for that. But first, I'm really excited for our next guest. She rose to prominence as the delightful Susie May in All My Daughter's Children's Men, before taking the music industry by storm this year with her debut album smashing the chart records at the age of
Okay, that's
just
a little bit
20.
easier.
Let's
It's not
give
in
it
real
up and
time.
welcome Lil C.
Excellent work.
May I just say, you look incredible.
Oh, thanks, babe. I'm doing this new regime and it really does work.
What's the regime?
My manager suggested it to me. It basically involves bathing in like cabbage water and then having the leaves sucked out of you while you sleep.
Wow, is that healthy?
Well, look at me, Meg. The leaves are my only nourishment.
Yep, they certainly are. Now, you'll have to forgive me, but I'm somewhat of a super fan, so I'm sorry if I get a bit starstruck.
Oh, bless you. I've never actually heard of you before, so if you do get a little tongue-tied, I can always carry the interview.
Oh, that's good to know. So your first album, F My Face Together, it hit shelves this summer and it just exploded. I mean, what was that like for you?
Bonkers, just so weird. I was in all the papers and the magazines. Overnight, I went from that like annoying little girl from that show to that like sexy little girl from that show.
Wow, that must have been bizarre.
Not really, it was just like any other morning. You know, get up at 5, go on a 4-mile run, have 3 meetings from my cabbage bath, but then only then was my dad actually talking to me.
Oh, of course. I mean, the famed country singer, Billy Bob Jean Short. I didn't know you'd been estranged.
There's nothing that strange about it, Megan. Okay, yes, he may believe that aliens told him to hate women, but there really isn't anything to prove that he's wrong.
So, this newfound explosion into your popularity, I mean, did that change your life?
Well, I had to start wearing like nicer underwear, you know, for the paparazzi, but as my manager says, best to make the most of it before I'm 30.
Is that right? So what's the album about?
So I thought it was about like how pretty and
These
great
passive
I am.
digs are so
Actually,
funny.
it's about monetizing youth, I think, or about like promoting an unrealistic standard of beauty or something.
Your manager again?
Yeah, he says insecurity is an opportunity.
Oh, do you think he'd be happy with you telling us all this?
Telling you all what? It really doesn't matter what I say here. I'll do my dancing and then this part will all be forgotten about.
Oh, well, yeah, I mean, we're going to see some of those famous dance moves very shortly because you're going to be performing your new single, aren't you?
Yeah, it's from my album Put It In My A Together and it's out tomorrow.
So soon, after the last one?
Oh yeah, I've actually released 2 albums since lunchtime and a clothing line during this interview. See, this is called Cry for Help and
Fuck.
it's going to be in all the best high street and retailer shops.
I can't pay attention.
Out now, so girlies, you know what to do. Scream and cry until somebody gets it for you.
Ooh, there she goes. Blimey. All these projects, they're keeping you very busy, aren't they? It must be tough.
Yeah, it can get tough and I hate it sometimes and I hate myself. I just want to like cry into a bath of root veg. But then I think thousands of girls would do anything to be me, so I must be quite lucky.
Well, you know you don't have to do this though, don't you?
Yeah, I do think that sometimes. Most nights between like my 4th vodka and the 8th time a stranger slaps me around the arse. I think things could have been different. You know, like better. But I don't know.
God, I hate that.
Autographs and having somebody dress me and tell me what to wear.
Did you always want to do music?
Well, ever since I was a little girl, I did. I'd sit in front of the radio, and as soon as my favourite girl group would come on, I'd press record on my cassette. But then my dad would come in and tell me to turn it off and to go back upstairs and start practicing again.
Sorry, is your dad your manager?
Yeah, which can be tough. And sometimes when it gets really hard, he'll say, "Make Quagler proud, and you might just survive childbirth."
Well, you know what, despite anything, you'll make me proud.
Oh, if only your opinion was as valuable as his.
And on that problematic note, you're going to be singing your song for us soon, aren't you? Tell me about it.
So it's called These Babies Gonna Bring You Home, and I actually got sent the lyrics in the car on the way up here. You know what, it's actually all right. And don't worry, all my work is team approved.
All right then, well, you can go and get ready for that. We'll see you in a little bit. It was a very specific type of pleasure to chat to her, and I just can't wait to hear this. Whoa, so here is Lil C with an exclusive first performance of her new track, These Babies Gonna Bring You Home. Take it away.
It's the Force's favorite, the queen of teams, here to break in your blockades, Lil C.
Fuck. I'm so bad at this.
Oh baby, can't you see I'm hungry? There's a place in me that's empty. I want that meat you're packing, only you can fill that crack in me. I'm under siege, so come and free me. Ain't no disruption here, boy, I got no agenda. Just want the team and me, no dirty foreign member. Don't stop no morning drill, there's holes in me that ain't been filled yet. I only scream this loud when you do your country proud. I ain't no Vickers, but I come and skirmish on my border. Quick before I get much older, tie me down and pour me like an enemy soldier. An enemy soldier. So let them try and break our dream. We fight and love and die a team. So what if Peter Clemens boys can come and use me as a toy? I wanna see some action. So come and break my sanctions.
Peter Clemens' boys can use me as a toy.
I've been this wild and free since my mom burdened me. She was only 53, but gave to save her family. There's no one judging me if I'm the one that's in your fantasy. Don't die alone, these babies gonna bring you home.
I'm not even trying to do this. I don't know how to do it.
Skirmish on my border, quick before I get much older. Tie me down and pour me like an enemy soldier. An enemy soldier. So what if Peter Clemens boys can come and use me as a toy and flip me over, grab my hair, rip off my clothes and dump them there? I wanna see some action, so come and break my sanctions.
The lyrics are so funny. Still not better than that rap song though.
Well, if that doesn't distract you from the world outside, I don't know what will. I'd like to thank Lil C for doing that. Don't go anywhere. After the break, we'll finally be revealing the new segment of our show that we just know you're going to love. We'll be back right after this.
And we're out.
Can I just say, thank you so much for letting me do this. It really means a lot to me, you know.
Yeah.
To be able to promote myself on such a mainstream platform like the news.
Well, don't worry about it. And you know what? Good luck for the future. Take care of yourself. This industry can be crazy sometimes. Watch out for that father of yours, don't you?
Oh, no. I manage myself. It's just, you know, for the public to have that certain perspective. You know what it's like.
Oh, right.
And Michael? Michael?
What about Billy Bob Jean Short? Is he?
Oh, my dad. He's such a sweetheart. We both had the same agents, you know, like it just made sense. Both of us for our image together.
Wow.
And Michael, I want to see the revenue share for the clothing line and get me a G&T before my meeting with the lube guys. If they say for your pleasure, I'm going to stop needing it.
Okay, B, I'll take it.
The actors can't hear what you're doing. and I'll be trusting you to make the right choices.
12, as it said in your writer.
Do I look like the sort of person who counts things? No, 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 not anymore.
I'm not looking forward to this. I think I'm gonna fuck it up.
Just keep adding flowers until it feels like 12. Got it?
Absolutely, right away. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3.
Thanks for joining us for part 3. We've been teasing you about our new feature all night, and now the wait is finally over. I can reveal that every night on the show, we'll be treated to an episode of an informative and hilarious new segment called The Notice Board. It stars some top talent, and we're very excited about it. But before we see it, let's have a quick chat with the writer, director, and phenomenon, may I say, Jeff Algebra, guys.
Actually, I've dropped the algebra. I go by Jeff DePoon now. How'd you like that?
Yeah, very fancy. I suppose you need a new name now that you're a successful artiste.
Well, exactly. I'm earning enough to pay taxes now.
Oh.
It's shit.
And how does Angela feel about all this? Your wife. Your wife.
Oh, God, no. No, she's long gone. No, she was holding me back. I'm with Norm now. We were married last month.
Norm.
Is this Andrew Tate?
Yeah.
And why did you write this? What was your inspiration?
Oh, well, I received a telephone call offering me 25 grand to write a pro-team sitcom, and I heard my father's voice. It said, Jeff, you listen here, boy. You make hay while the sun shines. You wring every penny you can get out of this. So I wheeled him down to the transition centre, got out my typewriter and started clacking. Utter shite.
And without further ado, let's give it up for the notice board.
Wait, did I accidentally click something?
You have to play a sound effect, Alex.
I did. What? I'm clicking.
Alex, if you keep this up, you'll ruin the notice board, and the actors won't be happy.
Good morning, Miss
I clicked.
Craven.
Oh, morning, Ray.
Everything all right, Mrs. Craven? You look as worried
I clicked.
as the vicar in closing time.
Oh, Ray, it's those young louts. They've vandalized
That was
my
weird.
shop again.
No!
Yes! They've written all sorts of obscene language and crude pictures, and I know it's those damn youths.
I don't know. It could be the vicar at closing time.
I'm just worried they won't ever become productive members of the community. What if they never see the error of their ways and end up as social outcasts, such as shoplifters or bong rats?
Don't worry, Mrs. Craven. This is a very supportive community, and I'm sure that in time they will fit into this society like this key into this lock.
What?
See? Works like a charm.
Fuck.
What a lovely way to put it, Ray. And just like that, we can unlock their future.
Yes, yes. Wow! Look at all the letters in my collection today.
Oh, I think that one's addressed to me.
What? This one? Oh, so you're right. Here it is.
It's a letter from my granddaughter, Brenda. She says she got an A on her maths exam because one of her friends has been helping her. She was always a team player, was our Brenda.
What's up, losers? What's up, losers?
Oh, no! It's Brad! He's the coolest guy in the village.
That's right. I just got here on my motorbike.
Oh, clear off, Brad. We don't want any of your ilk around here.
What? Rad dudes?
No, ruffians. Have you come to tag the notice board with your gang signs?
No way. I've actually come to pin my resume on that notice board. I'm looking to do some tutoring after school.
What did you say? Tutoring?
That's right. Maths is very important. Would you mind, Greg?
Not at all.
So you, a young person, have been spending your time helping others and not just urinating on churches or huffing glue?
Hey, I haven't huffed glue for months.
Well, blow me down!
You know what? We misjudged you based on how young and cool you are and not on your actions.
No doy.
So it wasn't you who vandalised my shop last night or called me a rancid old crone from the back of a chopper?
No way. It can't have been me. I was too busy helping my friend Brenda with her maths homework.
Could you speak up there? I thought for
This is
a
awful.
minute there that you said Brenda.
I did, you daft old sow.
Did you?
Oh, I
hear
clicked.
that,
It locks up when you're like right here.
Wonderful surprise. I now respect you.
It like
as a
locks when
man.
it gets right here.
Hello there, Ray. Oh, what the heck? Give us a hug.
What the fuck is going on? Hello? Are we under attack? What is... The Geth? Is Saren back?
Sorry to interrupt the first groundbreaking episode of the notice board, but we are receiving some breaking news.
Thank God.
I'm being told we are picking up reports from across the continent of what appear to be what appear to be nuclear explosions in 4 major foreign cities. Initial estimates put the death toll into. They put them into millions.
What?
I'm being told we're experiencing some power shortages as a result, so apologies for the interruption. And apparently we can go live now to team headquarters for an emergency broadcast from Prime Minister Julia Salisbury any moment. Yes, let's go to that now. Yes, let's go to that now.
Good evening, citizens and leaders of the world. Minutes ago, operatives working for Advance detonated nuclear explosives simultaneously in 4 major cities across the continent. We have similar devices in 58 other urban centres and will not hesitate to detonate them if our conditions are not
Sick
met
diplomacy,
in full
Julia.
and without delay. The people of our territory will no longer tolerate your illegal and genocidal blockade.
Imagine if
You are
North
to
Korea did
remove
this.
it immediately.
They get bombed right
You
back.
will accept nothing less than your unconditional surrender. Your territories will be taken under our control. We will install replacement governments to ensure that your citizens become part of the new future. Your borders are now
Jesus
our
Christ.
borders. Your people are our people. They will finally be fed and clothed and educated and healed. But for your privileged few. The moment that they feared is now upon them. Allow me to be crystal clear.
If the UK really did this in
If
real life,
you
they'd get
fire
fucked.
a single shot at our territory, or harm a single one of our citizens, we will not hesitate to detonate further devices. You will not find them, though no doubt you are already searching for them. Our technology is decades ahead of yours. We will expect your complete acceptance of our terms by midnight tonight. Thank you. Thank you.
I don't really talk about my personal life in my job. It's not relevant or important. So many of you may be surprised to learn that I have a brother. His name is David. And right now I can't get his stupid face out of my head. He's a researcher and he's currently travelling the continent for work. And I don't know where he is right now. And I should imagine that there are many of you sitting at home tonight digesting this news, and you also have loved ones on the continent. In Urkistan, or Havia, or San Palmerino, or Konislava, which is where David was when I last spoke to him 3 days ago. So when I tell you I know how you are feeling tonight, believe me, I do. But I also know that there's a flow to events. I see it every day here. I know that although tonight it feels like we may be in a time of fear and darkness, we may actually be at the break of a new dawn. We don't know that yet. We can't know that yet, but together we will find out. And I will be here every night, feeling what you are feeling. And with your help, maybe we can all get to that brave new world. My name's Megan Wolf. Let's make tomorrow better.
And we're out. We've got people ringing around, but the telephone networks are overloaded. We'll find him.
Do we know exactly which cities were hit, or?
Megan. We will find him.
Maybe this commercial was inappropriate. A+, hell yeah, that'll raise my grade. What the fuck, dude? Jesus Christ. That shit took a turn. Alright, I'll take a B, I don't give a fuck. Nukes just went off. This is insane. They're basically terrorists. They have nukes in cities everywhere? Like, what? What the fuck?
So, Julia's team have asked me to ask you to keep it light.
What does that mean?
It means do that thing you do where you turn politicians into humans. Just don't get drawn into talking about the war or politics in general, really.
They do know this is the news, don't they?
You didn't hear this from me, but...
Oh.
Apparently, there's a crew at Team HQ right now. I think she's giving a speech or something tonight. They'll get it on the late news.
Oh, great. So they get the brains and we get the performing monkey.
Sometimes you sound just like him, you know.
How are you?
I think we listened all to Peter's stuff.
But first tonight, with the war about to enter its 21st week, I'll be chatting with Peter Clement live in an exclusive team talk from his home in Lanfordshire. Don't go away. Oh, is this a thing now.
I think they just want to control what's best known as Peter Clement syndrome.
Oh, he's
Just
easy.
listen,
except
Ivan.
when he
I don't
begins a
care what your
sentence with,
people are
"As me old
telling
mam
you.
used to say."
If something were happening, I promise you I would know about it. Because I'm the fucking Prime Minister, Ivan. And the size of my penis is really not relevant here. Julia and I have no secrets from each other. None.
She did it unilaterally. Oh.
And the all-like man who thinks he's in horror movie. When you're in a rom-com, relax, mate. I'll see you at the Peace Summit. We'll get all this sorted out and you'll be back at the Grange before you know it.
10 seconds, Prime Minister.
Right you are. Gotta go, Ivan. Love to the mistresses.
From his home in Lanfordshire. Are you receiving me, Prime Minister?
Loud and clear, Miss.
Seconds. Best known as Peter Clement syndrome.
Oh, he's easy, except when he begins a sentence with, "As me old mam used to say."
Get away with
Yeah, true.
Must run in the family. Have you seen these
Keep
questions?
smiling. It's wartime.
Well, by the looks of these, it's more like nap time.
10 seconds. Do it for the nation.
You sound like Bozeman.
Going 5, 4, 3.
So while Peter's just hanging out talking to people, world leaders, she's fucking nuking people. Jesus.
You are one disturbed.
I think you forgot to ask him what his favourite number is.
Oh, I must have forgotten that in all the
Wobbling. It's time to
excitement.
Okay, so assuming it's not vodka, what do you think's actually in that milk? I reckon it's the tears of his enemies.
You are one disturbed individual.
That's how I cope.
Okay. Yeah, this song wasn't as good of a song as the rap one. The rap one, legitimately, I looked up on YouTube and listened to. It had some funny lyrics, though.
I've never heard of her before.
Oh, she's big, really big.
Really? She any good?
Nah, of course not. She dog shit. But kids go mad for her, absolutely mad.
Live in 10 seconds.
Hang on, Colin, you've got kids.
Yeah, I've got about 6 or 7, I think.
What?
5, 4, 3.
Thanks for coming back. Later, we have an exciting new feature that we just know you're going to love, so stay tuned for that. But first, I'm really...
And a clothing line during this interview. See, this is called Cry for Help, and it's going to be in all the best high street.
It was a funny interview. I kept laughing because they were like taking digs at each other.
You can go and get ready for that. We'll see you in a little bit. It was a very specific type of pleasure to chat to her, and I just can't wait to hear this. Oh, so here is Lil C with an exclusive first performance of her new track, These Babies Gonna Bring You Home. Take it away.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Force's favorite, the Queen of Team, here to break in your blockades, Lil C.
Oh baby, can't you see I'm hungry? There's a place in me that's empty. I want that meat you're packing. Only you can fill that crack in me. I'm under siege, so come and free me. Ain't no disruption here, boy, I got no agenda. Just want the team and me. Nobody
So by the way, it's just pure propaganda, this song.
far and remember. Don't stop no morning drill. There's holes in me that ain't been filled yet. I only scream this loud when you do your country proud. I ain't no vicar's daughter. Come and skirmish on my border. Quick before I get much older. Tie me down and my border. Quick before
What does she say?
skirmish on my border. Quick before
I think she says queef, but isn't...
I get much older, tie me down and pull me like...
I swear to God, it says queef right there. Listen to this carefully.
Come and skirmish on my border. Quick before I get much older,
Yeah,
tie me down and pull me like an enemy soldier. An enemy soldier. So let them try and break our dream. We fight and love and die at team. So what if Peter Clemens boys can come and use me as a toy? I wanna see some action. So come and break my sanctions. I've been this wild and free since my mom burdened me. She was only 53, but gave to save her family. There's no one judging me if I'm the one that's in your fantasy. Don't die alone, this baby's gonna bring you home. I ain't no vicar's daughter, come and skirmish on my border. Quick before I get much older, tie me down and pull me like an enemy soldier. An enemy soldier. So what if Peter Clemens boys can come and use me as a toy and flip me over, grab my hair, rip off my clothes and done from there. I wanna see some action, so come and break my sanctions.
Well, if that doesn't distract you from the world outside, I don't know what will. I'd like to thank Lil C for doing that. Don't go anywhere. After the break, we'll finally be revealing the new segment of our show that we just know you're going to love. We'll be back right after this.
And we're out.
Can I just say, thank you so much for letting me do this. It really means a lot to me, you know.
Yeah.
To be able to promote myself on such a mainstream platform like the news.
Well, don't worry about it. And you know what? Good luck for the future. Take care of yourself. This industry can be crazy sometimes. Watch out for that father of yours, won't you?
Oh, no. I manage myself. It's just, you know, for the public to have that certain perspective of me. You know what it's like.
Oh, right.
And Michael? Michael?
What about Billy Bob Jean Short? Is he?
Oh, my dad. He's such a sweetheart. We both had the same agents, you know, like it just made sense. Both of us for our image together.
Wow.
And Michael, I want to see the revenue share for the clothing line and get me a G&T before my meeting with the lube guys. If they say for your pleasure, I'm going to stop needing it.
All right. Yeah, it was a good song. It's catchy. I'm still amazed at how much shit they put in this game. Like,
well, the fact is,
I have such big respect for FMV games because they have to record so much shit. Like, who pressed mute on Uncle Marcus, Her Story, Immortality that we're playing. This game, like, there's so many, like, Immortality takes it to 11, where there's literally 3 full-length movies you can fucking watch with behind-the-scenes footage. But there's also, you know, it just all these games have so much fucking, just tons of video crammed into them that they've recorded.
Jen,
so
there
good.
weren't enough flowers in my dressing room.
There were exactly 12, as it said in your rider.
Do I look like the sort of person who counts things? No, 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 not anymore. I'm better than that now. I'll tell you what, just keep adding flowers until it feels like 12. Got it?
We're not watching it play again. That was awful.
Absolutely, right away. 10 seconds.
5, 4, 3.
Thanks for joining us for part 3. We've been teasing you about our new feature all night, and now the wait is finally over. I can reveal that every night on the show, we'll be treated to an episode of an informative and hilarious new segment called The Notice Board. It stars some top talent and we're very excited about it. But before we see it, let's have a quick chat with the writer, director and phenomenon, may I say, Jeff Algebra, guys.
Actually, I've dropped the algebra. I go by Jeff de Plume now. How'd you like that?
Yeah.
So the play was really boring, and I'm glad that's the segment they decided to drop the literal nuke on and interrupt, because it was really boring and stupid and dumb. And it was written that way. I'm not saying like the game writers fucked up and made it really boring. No, it's obviously written to be literally pure propaganda. So I'm very glad it was interrupted.
Groundbreaking episode of the Notice Board, but we are receiving some breaking news. I'm being told we are picking up reports from across the continent.
I think we heard all this.
Then no doubt you are already... Thank you.
I don't really... Do we know exactly...
Alright. There's something else I wanted to watch. I wanted to watch yeah, this one. The war thing.
Here at Advance, we know that for many of you these are frightening times, but you should not be afraid, because the team is here to defend you, to protect you, and to make sure that you stay free to enjoy all of the benefits of our new society. We are not a territory that chooses to live in fear. We will not cower or avert our eyes at the sight of injustice. But we are a brave and daring people, and we have come together in ways never before seen in the world. As a team, we have made poverty a thing of the past. As a team, we have built world-leading scientific and cultural communities. As a team, we have kept our people well fed throughout this war. Because as a team, we cannot fail to thrive, even in this most challenging of times. And one day, soon now, when this turbulent time is behind us, we will glide into a new future as a team. Advance. For you.
As a team, we dropped 4 nuclear weapons on Europe. Alright. Shit's getting crazy, like I wanted it to. Shit's off the hook. First the guy grabs a gun and takes over the news station. Now there's little nukes being dropped all over Europe. I think this game's almost over. I'm gonna keep playing. Yeah, I'm just gonna end it right now and start recording again. Thank you guys for watching this part. This has been insane. Bye-bye.